Hello everyone. Today, I'm visiting Hom Market, one of the oldest and most famous traditional markets in Hanoi, Vietnam. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy to take you on another journey to discover the real Vietnam through the places where local people live, work, and shop every day. Behind me is Hom Market, located on Pha Hue Street in Hai Ba Trung District. Unlike famous tourist attractions such as Hon Kiem Lake or the Temple of Literature, this is a place where you can truly experience the everyday rhythm of life in Hanoi. Hom Market has been part of the city for more than 100 years. It was established in the early 20th century and has gone through several renovations over the years. In the year 2005, the market was completely rebuilt into the modern multi-story building that you see today, providing space for hundreds of local family businesses. For many people in Hanoi, Hom Market is much more than a place to buy and sell goods. It is a place filled with memories. Some families have been coming here for generations. Every morning, as the city begins to wake up, the market comes alive with greetings, friendly conversations, bargaining, and colorful displays of fresh products. One of the things I enjoy most about traditional markets like this is how authentic they feel. There are no luxury stalls or fancy decorations. Instead, you find warm smiles, honest conversations, and the simple kindness that makes everyday life in Vietnam so special. If you really want to understand Vietnamese culture, I believe spending just one morning walking through a traditional market can teach you more than many tourist attractions ever could. Today, I arrived here around noon. That's why you won't see large crowds of shoppers. Most local people have already finished buying fresh food early in the morning, while many vendors are taking a short break before the afternoon. Even so, visiting at this time gives us a different perspective. We can take our time walking through the market, watching vendors organize their stalls, chatting with one another, and patiently waiting for the next customers. In today's video, we'll explore different sections of Hom Market, discover the wide variety of products sold here, meet some of the local vendors, and learn why this market has remained an important part of Hanoi for more than 100 years despite the rapid growth of modern shopping malls and supermarkets. So, let's begin our walk through one of Hanoi's most fascinating traditional markets. Now, let's walk deeper into Hom Market and explore what makes this place so special. As soon as we enter, you can immediately feel the atmosphere of a traditional Vietnamese market. Even though it is already around noon and much quieter than in the early morning, many stalls are still open. The vendors continue arranging their products, greeting customers with warm smiles, and preparing for the rest of the day. The first area I'd like to show you is the fresh food section. Here you'll find a wide variety of vegetables, fruits, herbs, and other fresh produce brought in from the outskirts of Hanoi and nearby provinces. The colorful displays make the market feel lively, even during the quieter hours. As we continue walking, we arrive at the meat, fish, and seafood section. Most of these products are delivered early each morning to ensure freshness. For many Vietnamese families, visiting the market every morning to buy fresh ingredients is still an important daily routine. One of the things I love most about traditional markets is the personal connection between buyers and sellers. People often ask where the products come from, how to cook them, or simply spend a few moments chatting. These friendly conversations are a special part of everyday life that you rarely experience in modern supermarkets. Now we're entering the area that has made Hom Market famous throughout Hanoi, the fabric section. For many years, this has been one of the city's best places to buy fabrics and sewing materials. You'll find fabrics of every color, texture, and pattern, suitable for everyday clothing, traditional Vietnamese áo dye, and even stage costumes. Many customers travel here not only from Hanoi but also from other provinces because they trust the quality and variety available at this market. Next, we come to the household goods and ceramics section. Here you'll see bowls, plates, teapots, kitchen tools, and many practical items used in everyday Vietnamese homes. These stalls remain popular because people still appreciate durable products at reasonable prices. Another interesting area is where traditional worship items and joss paper offerings are sold. Ancestor worship has long been an important part of Vietnamese culture, and these products continue to play a meaningful role in many families' traditions and festivals. As I walk through the market, I realize that every stall has its own story. Some vendors have spent several decades working here. For them, Hom Market is much more than a workplace. It is like a second home, where they have built friendships, welcomed loyal customers, and witnessed the remarkable changes that Hanoi has experienced over the years. Perhaps it is these people who give Hom Market its true character. Their dedication, hard work, and friendly spirit have helped this century-old market remain alive and meaningful, even as the city around it continues to change. One of the things I enjoy most about visiting traditional markets like Hom Market isn't just the products, it's the people. If you look closely, you'll notice that many vendors have spent decades working here. Some started selling at this market when they were very young and have continued doing so ever since. Every day, they wake up before sunrise to prepare the goods, open their stalls, and welcome the first customers of the morning. For them, Hom Market is much more than a workplace. It is a way of life. Over the years, many customers have become close friends, and some even feel like members of the same family. There are shoppers who have been buying from the very same stall for many years because of the trust they have built with the vendor. Another wonderful part of traditional Vietnamese markets is the conversations. Buyers and sellers don't only talk about prices. They often ask about each other's health, work, children, or everyday life. These simple conversations create a warm atmosphere that makes the market feel welcoming and personal. If you're visiting Vietnam for the first time, you may notice that bargaining is common at some stalls. This has long been part of Vietnamese market culture. Most of the time, it's done with smiles and laughter. Buyers hope to get a fair price, while sellers try to make their customers happy. It's a friendly interaction rather than a serious negotiation. Today, Hanoi has many modern supermarkets, shopping malls, and convenience stores. Shopping there is fast, organized, and convenient. Prices are clearly displayed, and everything follows a modern retail system. However, traditional markets continue to have a special place in people's hearts. People don't come here only to buy things. They come to meet familiar faces, exchange stories, and maintain relationships that have lasted for many years. Perhaps that is why Hom Market has remained an important part of Hanoi despite all the changes taking place around it. As I walk through these narrow aisles, I can feel a peaceful rhythm of life. Nothing seems rushed. People work, chat, smile, and help one another in a very natural way. These are the moments that I believe truly represent the spirit of Vietnam. In my opinion, if you really want to understand a city, you don't always have to visit its most famous landmarks. Sometimes, spending a few hours walking through a traditional market and observing everyday life can teach you much more about the local culture. That is one of the reasons I enjoy making videos like this. I hope to share the simple beauty of Vietnam with people around the world, not only its famous landscapes, but also its kind people, its rich traditions, and the everyday moments that make this country so special. After spending the past few hours exploring Hom Market, I feel that this is much more than a place where people come to buy and sell goods. It is a place where the history, culture, and everyday spirit of Hanoi continue to live on. For more than 100 years, this market has witnessed countless changes. The streets around it have become busier, modern buildings have risen across the city, and life has changed in many ways. Yet Hom Market has managed to preserve its simple and welcoming character. In the future, shopping malls will continue to grow, online shopping will become even more popular, and technology will change the way people shop. But I truly believe that traditional markets like Hom Market will always have a special place in the hearts of Vietnamese people. People don't come here only to buy vegetables, fresh meat, seafood, or a few meters of fabric. They come because of the familiar faces, the friendly conversations, and the sense of community that cannot be found anywhere else. For international visitors, I believe this is one of the best places to experience the real Hanoi. There is no need to rush. Simply take your time, walk through the market, observe the daily activities, listen to the sounds around you, and enjoy the atmosphere. Sometimes the simplest experiences become the most unforgettable memories. Perhaps the true beauty of Hom Market is not found in the products on display but in the people who work here every single day. Their dedication, kindness, and hard work have helped keep this historic market alive through generations. I sincerely hope that Hom Market will continue to thrive for many years to come and remain an important part of Hanoi's identity. I also hope that more visitors from around the world will discover this wonderful place and experience the warmth of Vietnamese culture for themselves. If you ever travel to Hanoi, I encourage you to spend a morning exploring Hom Market. You may arrive expecting to see a market, but you'll leave with a much deeper understanding of the people, traditions, and everyday life that make Vietnam such a fascinating country. Thank you so much for joining me on today's journey through Hom Market. If you enjoyed discovering the real Vietnam through its people, culture, traditional markets, and everyday life, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. On this channel, we'll continue exploring traditional markets, historic neighborhoods, local villages, beautiful countryside, and many hidden corners of Vietnam that most tourists never get to see. Thank you again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Goodbye.